Well, Chicago Fed President Austan Goolsbee joined Yahoo Finance for a one-on-one interview with Jennifer Schonberger, and she joins us now to break down that conversation. Jen, we were just talking about the regional banks. Certainly, Austan Goolsbee making some comments or weighing in on that. What were your key takeaways from the interview?
Hey there, Akiko. In an exclusive interview, Chicago Fed President Austan Goolsbee warned the beginning of a credit crunch is starting and that a recession is a possibility now.
Well, I'm certainly getting vibes, as you are, in the market and in the business context, that the credit crunch, or at least a credit squeeze, is beginning. I think you have to say that recession is a possibility. You got a lot of major forecasters forecasting a mild recession already for the second half of the year. So I think that's got to be on everyone's mind. And in a way, you do not land the plane nose down.
Goolsbee also says he's seeing signs of cooling in the job market. He said he likes to scrutinize the job market over 3 months and look at the total hours worked by everyone in the economy, not just the number of jobs created. And based on that, he says the total hours worked has not been growing as strong as overall job growth would suggest, noting that it looks like some of the froth in the job market is cooling off. Now, Goolsbee, who served as chairman of the Council of Economic Advisors under President Obama and witnessed a debt ceiling showdown that saw the U.S. credit rating downgraded, says the argument over the debt ceiling now comes at, quote, the worst possible time. He says it tacks uncertainty onto credit tightening. He's worried we're going to reignite stresses in banking where financial institutions use Treasury as their collateral. Now, while Goolsbee is worried about a credit crunch, the debt ceiling, and cooling in the job market, he stopped short on saying whether the Fed should pause right now ahead of that next Fed meeting, given that there's so much time between now and mid-June and therefore so much more data that could come out. Guys?
Yeah, Jen, it was a great interview there. Does anything else just stand out to you in terms of what the Fed is looking at or plans to look at ahead of its next meeting?
I think the major thing that they're watching right now is credit conditions. You heard that from Fed Chair Powell last week. You heard it again from Goolsbee today. He's really focused on credit tightening and what that's going to mean for monetary policy. They're also closely looking at the job market. Of course, in addition to those inflation numbers, I also just want to point out it's interesting that ahead of the last meeting, Goolsbee struck a bit of a cautious note, as he did today in my interview, yet he voted in favor of raising rates by 25 basis points at that last meeting. And he told me the reason for that is that he didn't see that credit tightening really taking hold and impacting the real economy right now. And so he decided to really just stick with the playbook. Of course, they are going to be watching how that permeates between now and mid-June, and still quite a bit of time there as we see more data roll in.
All right, Jen Schonberger bringing us that interview with Austan Goolsbee. Thanks so much for that.